Minecraft 1.18 release is finally here, and that's why I decided to start over Gobbercore in the new version. After looking around, I get to work punching my first tree. I figured I'd get some easy stone by digging into the ground real quick, but I had to go a surprisingly deep way to get some. After collecting a bunch of stones, I went back to cutting down trees. Exploring a little, I found some turtles and decided to box them in. Back in the forest, I gathered these chickens and dug them a little hole to keep them in. I even made a ladder so I could get in and out. I then proceeded to forget about them. Since I wasn't able to find a sheep or bed by the first night, I dug myself a hole into the ground. Then I figured since I was here, I might as well get comfy, so I started clearing out space. The renovation has begun. There are sheep on the other side of the river, as well as a lava pit that I can see myself converting into a portal later. I go exploring a little bit, and then head back to do it in another direction. This weird visual glitch happened where the world disappeared, so that happened. I then spent a very unhealthy amount of time decorating my little dirt hole. While swapping out the dirt for wood, a wandering trader just straight up came in. Wouldn't you know it, I looked away, and when I looked back, there just were some leather and leads. Amazing! It's time to see where this river leads me. Oh, wait a minute, did I put this here? I don't remember building this. Well, anyway, I make my way to the nearby village, and immediately get to work tearing down this house. I need a clean, empty place to bring 2 villagers to. After grabbing a bell and 2 villagers, I figure it's time to give them a rudimentary wall and go off to pillage the village. One thing to note is that this guy's hidden away farm conveniently houses some of every type of vegetable and seed in the game. I also managed to find some iron up here. Also, while double checking my surroundings, I spotted a lone spruce tree, and wouldn't you know it, it dropped exactly 4 saplings. I ultimately decided to set up the villager shop closer by home. After moving half of them here, I get to work on what will essentially become the villager's starter trading hut. Once I felt I had enough built, I broke the villager's boat so he would simply pathfind on towards his bed. As soon as I get this guy traded up enough to level up once, it was time to plant the first mega spruce tree. For some reason. Anyway, fast forward to getting the second villager, and I'm pretty sure this one is actually intelligent, because when I break his boat, he escapes. And now, mind you, I was laughing at this. This was funny to me. I even found it funny when he did it the second time. But then I went through the process of getting him boxed in, got him in and set up, and then decided to clean up the barricade. When he got out and escaped a third time, I was absolutely livid, but also freaking out. And by that, I mean I was incredibly stupid and eventually trapped him in a boat, in the forest, and left him to die to a zombie while I ran to my bed. Then, since I had just fast-forwarded the night, it was now daytime, and the newly converted zombie villager caught fire and then died again! I'm just gonna step in here in real time and assure you that I was freaking out and swearing and screaming at the top of my lungs the entire time that was happening. I was not cool as a cucumber. I am so For whatever reason, I made the remaining villager a stick guy. I went back to the village to see if there were any more villagers, and even went as far as to looking for additional villages along the coastline. Now, I didn't find a village, but I did find a shipwreck, and among said wreckage was a buried treasure map. The loot further in was also pretty sweet. I went back to this structure on the way to the village, realizing it probably has a chest in it too. I found a fishing rod with mending, and was instantly on a treasure hunting kick. This terrain generation looks so awesome, and I cannot wait to explore these caves. Well, a little cave exploration now can't hurt. And now that I have this ring of teleport, I can basically go exploring anywhere I want without fear of getting lost. I find my way to this massive seaside ruins, complete with an entire army of drowns. I wade over to the shore and then stand in the water and draw them near me. Once they're sufficiently close, it's just a matter of wailing on them until they stop showing up. These guys have a really cool looking texture, don't they? What's your favorite looking mob? The loot here is mostly fishing rods, but the most important is the treasure map. This map led me to my most important treasure of this Gobbercore playthrough. After digging for what seemed to be ages, I finally unearthed a chest containing 4 ward blocks across 2 flavors. The green colored growth ward block affects growables, while the red colored health ward blocks give players regeneration and saturation, as well as an extra set of temporary hearts. The ward blocks are redstone components that work in an area of effect manner, and they'll need some form of redstone power to function. If I could make any criticism toward them, it would be that their design is a little bit too large and doesn't quite fit on the actual block model. That being said, the ward blocks are incredibly overpowered, and I am very thrilled to have them on this playthrough. I fished for a little bit before deciding to old school style staircase mine down towards cave levels. Using my 3 loot diamonds, I craft my first diamond pickaxe of the world. The trouble health ward block here is because this orb might drop a mob. It didn't, but just so you know, these are the first Gobber ores I'm finding, and they happen to be around Y25. Some further away down, and I finally start making it to old bedrock level. This is my first time in a new cave in new 1.18 survival Minecraft, and it's pretty exciting. I make it out into a very large clearing. The squishing sounds of slime are finally paired with a visual confirmation. This water could help me get down safely, but I can't be too ballsy because I'm in hardcore. If I can just get safely down to the ground, I can set up the ward block and be even safer. I decided to just tunnel down and basically make an entryway. With the travel health ward block activated, it was time to jump into action. Okay, so I found this zombie spawner room as well as a zombie villager that I will most certainly have a lot of fun getting out of here and back up towards base. However, lighting up this cave was some of the most fun I've had in Minecraft in a long time. The sheer scope and scale of the cavern is just breathtaking, and exploring around a mine for resources was just an absolute delight. I may not be the biggest fan of torch spam, but seeing this large pocket of space light up as I ran around was just magical. After making sure I could actually get back to my base without the ring, I decided to build a cute little carrot farm. With the help of the growth ward block close by, they were almost fully grown as soon as I had finished planting them. And not content with ending on an unfinished armor, I, for whatever reason, decided to start work on moving the villager towards base, beginning with the eventual water shaft that will take him to the surface. Filling out the water with kelp, I figure I need to go get some soul sand. After a painstaking process that I'm certain could have been done more easily, I go deeper by entering the nether. The spawn is very peaceful, which is lovely, but I can't seem to spot a nether fortress, much less any soul sand. Eventually, I find my way to some and go exploring further. About the time I was confronted with hoglins, I decided to nope my way to safety with the ring. The next course in line was to get some better equipment for more nether exploration, so I went caving for goods. The canvas rendering mod I'm using helps shed light while I'm holding the torch, just like Optifine. Also, these ore veins mixed with tough blocks are amazing. I even found a mine shaft which seemingly kept on going. Back at base, I'm mixing up my first big batch of Gobber ingots. I immediately make a hammer, followed by a standard pickaxe, for some reason. Honestly, I should have just stuck with a hammer, and then the nether pickaxe later. But I digress. Noticing I indeed had enough Gobber ingots for Gobber armor, I hastily crafted a set. Now well armored and armed with a hammer, it was time to get some ancient debris with ease. And when I say ease, I mean I walked out with 6 debris after only 20 minutes. Also, I almost died, so that was cool. Anyway, I sacrificed what's left of my Gobber ingots to make nether Gobber ingots. And for whatever reason, I made a sword first. I don't know why, but I did. So I just went back to hammer mining, but in the overworld. This time for diamonds. I found the spider spawner room, but ended up just destroying the block. Although, for some reason, I decided to spare the zombie one. It is, to me, just a little bit confusing that I'm finding diamonds more easily only with hammer mining, as opposed to caving, but again, I digress. Back at base, I make my first major ring, the Ring of Repair. And, with my inventory set aside overnight to heal, I then ran around gathering dyeable wool, and then fighting Endermen. All the while unaware I was armorless, so anyways, I made the Ring of Return and how I can always get back to the base without fear of accidentally resetting my teleport coordinates. Then I made the one tool I have never made or used before in a Gobber playthrough, and I'm very disappointed in myself. I crafted my first tree axe. I went right out to my mega spruce tree, and well, as a user of the falling tree mod, I can say I wish I had omitted it in favor of making this axe. Watching the logs fall down the way they do is wonderful and fills me with delight. And that is a very brief summary of my first few hours. I have been blown away by how much Minecraft has changed just from having an axis and ore adjustment. I'm even more excited to jump back into this very awesome 1.18 edition Gobber-based hardcore Minecraft adventure. Hello and welcome to X&Y Gaming, the start of a bigger, better Gobbercore journey. Thank you for watching. Frankly, I'm feeling fantastic. I'm finally medicated, sat it, waited, but now I'm back. Up my luck, cause I got lucky in the sack. Now I eat up Lucky Charms bars and you know I keep them stacked. Got a rough shaped cot with an 8-inch mat. gasoline in my machine, and even Steve is shaving, cleaning. When I see it, I am heaving, grabbing, cleaving, cause even I don't wanna be seeing none of that.